Yes, guys, you see it? We have another trailer because we have bought a new project and we are going to load it up. My great friend Shores is back again? Yeah, because without Shores, we don't pick up a project. You should have seen him in the previous vlog already. Well, I'm really curious. I'm wondering how it's going to turn out because yes, we've already paid a deposit. We're going to pick him up now. Yes, I'll just see you there. Well, incidentally, it has fallen quite. And here it is. We're going to charge it with Georgie now. Guys, I'm so excited. We just bought a new project, the GLA45. And this thing is really sick. It's super wrong, black on black, matte black with glossy black parts. By now we know it starts. He doesn't lose coolant, which is super nice. That means the coolers at the front of the car are still operational. We obviously took a bit of a risk since the car is wrecked. We don't know what kind of underlying damages the car has. But the wreck did protect the car. In a few places. Hey, the headlight works. Well, quite a lot of damage in his hands. He also has flat tires. What a device, guys. I can't say anything else. I'm really super excited to get started here because we've made a little counting puzzle. And we think it's feasible to build this car well without having to spend too much money. I would say let's charge up and bring it to the workshop. My hands are itching, guys. I've been so eager to start. I think I'm going to make my first meters in my new car. Yes, I do need to fill up the car right away. This thing automatically searches for gas stations. That's sick. Here we go, guys, the first meters. Oh, it steers very heavily. Collision prevention assist plus not available. Turbo power failure, see your manual. Starts well, starts well. It's not too bad, but it does drive, which is great. The interior feels nice, but I think I'll leave the charging of the car to the professionals since George has done it 100 times. George, I'm going to help you with guidance. Those wheels are tilted under the car. Slow down. A bit to the left. Yes. Ooh, yes, come on. Let's look the other way for a moment. Steer a bit to the left. I saw the tow hook in the trunk. He's slowly going up the ramp. Georgie, this thing sounds sick. What are you checking? The buttons for the exhaust, doesn't it clip? You can hear it rattle. Does the windshield wiper not work either? It couldn't stand with the hood open. He kept pulling on that windshield wiper lever, so the hood was open, that's it. But why do you think he didn't want to ride on it? That's because the wheels are misaligned. All kinds of malfunctions. A collision malfunction means it has had a serious crash. I think you've fallen in love with it yourself. We're going to secure it now on the ramp truck. Take him to the workshop, then I'll see you there. I actually just want to start stripping those panels off, snap it off, and then we can estimate what it's all going to cost. Like, exactly. Really. Oh yeah, here we go. Off to the workshop with the new project. Battery's too weak, huh? Want to take it out? Temp number 2. But it won't start, super nice. Well guys, we had to use a whole cobweb of jumper cables. Those thin action jumper cables, boy. Mess, you can't even start with your GLA, the mass is just too thin. That plus is too thin. You really just shouldn't buy it. Yes, unless you have an IGO or something. Yeah, then it's useful for you. Glad it's coming off. We have bought a beautiful project, and for those who have been following us for a long time. Also on Instagram, twins.tv_. They know that in the past we had A45. So this is the GLA AMG crossover. I'd say enough talk, let's put the beast on the lift and raise it because I'm curious to see how it goes. Curious about the actual damage, There might be something salvaged underneath. We'll find out soon. We also replaced the battery, and the car has carbon mirror caps. Panoramic roof, bucket seats, large screen, and a leather dashboard with red stitching. The Mercedes is now on the ramp. It's time to start dismantling the part now and see what we all need for a set. So we've already started making lists. Of course, we don't know what the underlying damage is, so we're going to dismantle the bumper and the side panels now. Let's go! What strikes me immediately, this thing is incredibly dirty, really unbelievable. Brakes, completely worn out. Maybe that's why it had a crash. Yes. These are actually not perforated all the way through, but just have small dots drilled in. Those things are totally worn out. Huge edge on the brake disc, brake pads worn. Yeah, it needs a brake job. The front bumper has just been disassembled by us, and to our surprise, the damage is not that bad, a bit like we expected. Yes, the expensive stuff, like the items complete, we've already seen and used it all. It all starts at 2,700 euros. Complaining with all the trimmings? The headlights are about new, original 1,000 euros each. We also saw that there are a few small seasonal pieces broken, including the sprayer, the windshield washer pump, the pipes to the spray nozzle. All things considered, it's not too bad now. In another episode, we will naturally continue with disassembling, where I'm really curious to see if there might be a color difference on the car. Sometimes people like to strip a car if it's badly painted, or not painted at all, just repaired. That's also possible. So here we took a massive risk by buying a car that's wrapped, but that's not the point. In the next episode, we're going to tell you all about it. We've also seen that we've been incredibly lucky because here's your crash sensor. And it's against your bumper bar, here on the back. If it had received an even harder blow, then our dashboard airbag would have gone off, as well as our steering wheel airbag, and maybe even the knee airbag. And then it's going to cost more. So we were quite lucky there. Could you dismantle the headlight for me? Okay. You're my helper. Can you get a screwdriver? When you buy a headlight new or secondhand, the modules are often not included. This is actually because you can get a plain headlight, and it's much cheaper than a complete headlight. As you can see, we also have the intelligence light system. So what are you all up to? But yes, then you can imagine that those modules are extremely expensive, and I hope that they still work for us. And then we can just transfer everything into our new headlights. They are pretty nice, aren't they? Always good to keep things. I would say, just glue the headlight on and go. And then I hear you thinking, how will you know how to put the car back together later? How everything comes apart? That's how it goes back together. Just in reverse. And of course, we're creating various containers with screws and nuts showing where everything comes from. So we have a front bumper with wheel arches and a separate battery for the headlights. And just like that, the AMG looks way better, doesn't it? Close the hood and then it's good to go. Really? We had a heart attack. We thought, what have we bought? Check this out. As you can see here, from above, it appears as though it's been torn from the body. Yes, we looked from above and we just saw a loose corner here. And then we thought, yes, there's a catch. Yes, then I thought no. And then we compared it. And over here, too. It's there. It's just identical as well. If you look at it from above, you would say it makes sense. It just doesn't fall or something, right? Well, thankfully. And you almost broke your heart. Yes, no. We're just continuing, obviously, with detaching the side panels, which we were actually busy with. Things are smooth, actually going quite well. We're almost getting the feeling that we're nearly done with this project, guys. Especially since we've done a BMW 1 series. Have you not seen it yet? Check it out because we have a playlist of that too. And the crazy thing was that entire car was completely wrecked, but really smashed up. And it was just a wreck, right? There was no straightening work involved. Grab the bumper, it just slid in easily. So that was super nice, and this just doesn't need it all, right? Plans are more likely to go well then. One thing I've already noticed is that the growth chamber reservoir has been dislodged from its spot. So yeah, it's just a matter of putting it back in its place, and then, yes, it's a million lights, right? That's it. I would say, put on a new steering rod and let's gas up, guys. Let's go. How can a car change so much in just a few hours? Here we are. A completely stripped GLA45 AMG. You just saw it with the wear on. I've cut the side panel to make it easier for us to see if it's actually damaged in the future, of course. Maybe it's about disassembling it neatly, but that's not necessary at this moment. We had to replace the side panels anyway. So, just to make it easy to jot down what we need. Just grinding it down again. As you can see, we've also disassembled the front bumper for a moment, to see which parts are still intact and which parts want to come loose. For example, the aftermarket grille has been installed. It has also been sealed in various places. Luckily, I was able to detach the kit from the bumper support so we can keep that. Besides, the front bumper is just really a small piece that's broken, also simply susceptible. In addition, we obviously have to think about which whims we're going to indulge in the future. Do we want a Panamericana? Or do we want an original? We actually think the original is pretty nice too, and it also has another advantage, that your cooling package is actually protected better at all times. It's like that with the Panamericana, that there's a lot of savings, which means there's a high chance of a stone going through. Yeah, if your radiator breaks, you really just don't want that. Yes, indeed, the headlights are broken, thankfully the modules are still there. We don't know yet if the modules are good. We'll find out when we get to the headlights. Start assembling again. The camshaft is intact, frame rails here at the top are running. This one is straight, this one too, but unfortunately it's still a bit bent. But of course we're going to change that in the future. We have a special tool for it, and that's something you should look forward to. Of course, there's also hanging a piece of wheel that we still need to do. The wrap still needs to be removed, so there's plenty of content on this car. Obviously it won't be rewrapped, well, maybe. But first, it's off to the paint shop. So yeah, I'm also looking forward to putting the thing back together. But first, it's important for us to acquire all the parts and then put this thing back together. Because we just want to see how all the panels fit, etc., etc. And then we're just standing next to a super cool AMG A45. I think it's a much cooler ride than the Ferrari. Let me know what you think in the comments. Give a thumbs up if you like this project. And a piece of news, we've got another new project in the workshop. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.